There's a house music thing worldwide, but the South African house music is on some other kind of vibe.
To us, it's some kind of a culture. Everybody, you know,
South Africa as a country, you know, has a certain rhythm.
I suppose it's hard to describe what, it's kind of broken, it's funky, it rolls, but it's still broken.
The bass.
An intense kind of like powerful, you know, quiet storm.
I don't think it's been as trendy before as it is now.
There's nothing wrong with it blowing up and people take their influence. You might still forget where it came from.
As a fan of South African electronic music, I've been excited to see it blow up both locally and internationally over the last 10 years. There's such a wide variety of different cultures, different languages, different classes, and it's a vast country. So it's interesting to see people explore electronic music in unique ways in each different region.
Durban is a very musical place. It was one of those places every weekend, as you walk, you hear music like proper in every household, and it's played loud. Others would even take the speakers outside. It's a very soulful place musically. That's how it's always been.
Even from the native Maskandi music, from Badkanga music, that's going on that side, you know, it goes way back. Let me just say, it's very traditional, and yeah, so definitely gonna get dance in Durban, yeah.
If you look for a love song from South Africa, get dance or still. It's like Afropop is not slow jam, it's not dance on a corner, but hey, get tanda, you know? So it's kind of like, we are a party nation in that sense.
People are very rhythmic, you know, they love dance music, you know, whether it's pop or whether it's deep or whatever, you know, as long as it's got the groove.
It's a music, it's a music othi uma ulalela uyifeel as if ungadansa. Music owulalela uma uholile, ubonasile, ujabulile, uhappy, ufuna ukuba seclubini, ufuna ukujabula. Music ongawulalela even kuthiwa khona into ekuphethe kabi. Once walalela yona yonke into iyaphela, uyifeel as if ungadansa engathi ungasebumnandini. So into ekukhipha i-stress.
Hello ladies.
Durban, they don't make you, it makes the people go crazy in the club. Hey, they jump around. The atmosphere is different here in Durban compared to Joburg and Cape Town.
I never used to like Durban until Elvovo.
Kuphela inyanga ngizama ngigudla ngifuna amandla ukwenza album kodwa namhlanje, you know what I mean? Like for me, I was like, shit, that's some dope shit, you know?
If you want Durban music, go to Durban people. Because but you can't get that thing like Durban.
It's also like from a need to just own our shit, you know, own what we do, own our language, own who we are, you know, and then bring it out to the world.
Durban kwaito, isiyaziwa countrywide. qgom becomes more intwana lezi Fruity Loops, like the underground cats mostly, and then you get like established producers, but it's more like the beats with no vocals now, so it's more underground, and most of the cats that produce it are Baziyo.
There's a new style called broken beats here in Durban. Yeah, everyone's making it now.
It's very, very different because they're used to the straight beats, you know. 4 step. We like you know.
Qgom is a commercial house music from Durban.
It's a genre of music, like it's unofficial.
It's a new sound, man. It's that sound. For me, it's a mixture of kwaito, electro, and house.
Ama-producers athi mehle la ehlangene ndawonye ethi no asenze something ehlukile engenama instrumental like ama-keyboard ama-piano asenze something like ezothi enama-beats so that omunye umuntu wangaphandle ezothi makufika umuntu waseDurban edlala endaweni ezothi no, this sound is from Durban.
You can't call it house music, you know, but it's more kwaito than anything else, whether there are kwaito lyrics on it or not.
Most of the time, people like from far mistake it for kwaito, but it's not kwaito. It's just its own thing.
We used to ridicule music that is like that, like because of the tempo. It's just insane.
There was a drug scene in Durban. There was an ecstasy scene, and when that ecstasy scene came, everything changed musically.
When you like listen to it, you can like it's basic, it's raw. So like everyone thinks like okay, they can produce these things.
Qgom house music is very simple. That's why it's most popular house music here in Durban.
The Durban scene dominated so much because it was easier for people to understand it.
It's got those heavy sounds, you know. Like when you insert those sounds, you can feel the spirits, you know.
People like love to listen to the bass.
They make up their own songs in the clubs, you know.
Then
so
you go to studio.
Then you make it.
Yeah, you have to record the stuff that they make up.
They make up. Then you make a beat. Then after that it hits.
You would go into a club in Durban. That's all you hear. Some songs didn't make sense.
It's cats that are shy deep house.
Deep house is just style, you know. And it's more heavier. You can just feel it in the speakers. The first group we listened to that created Qgom was NakedBoys.
I think we created it. That's what I think. Because, you know, it's very different from the old house. You know, because the old house you had like Durban kwaito and whatnot. But we just came with a different style, which is called the broken beats, you know.
I can't just say this person, that person started Qgom house music because that person who known first, maybe he's from somewhere.
Other main problem of Qgom is that you hear tracks like they're nice, but really because it's not marketed or like other genres, like it's not official, you don't know who produces it.
Ingoma ungahlala nayo. Once ukwaphela isikhathi eside ungayisanga kubantu abathile, igcina isidumile ingakwenzeli lutho.
A lot of people like in the underground, like who just don't know who produced the track, but it went like really viral.
Say Durban is competitive.
It's very territorial.
Ngeke uze uthathe omunye umuntu wakwenye indawo uthi awumdlalise wona because ngeke aze akwazi. So into yakho into yethu like isinkwa sethu. So into ngeke uze ukwazi ukusiphuca yona. Into esisebenza ngayo esiya ngayo phambili.
Qgom, if you take it to France, this guy is gonna blow up because he's doing something that's out of this world.
Some people from as far as London and UK are getting emails like they say they like our music, like so they're saying they play it there, so that means like maybe more people like to listen to that kind of genre.
There was a time where I didn't make sense in Durban musically as a DJ. I don't get there and play the Qgom sound that you would assume people want in Durban. I get there and be me. So I've always had this love for classical music. So I've always wanted to not remix a classical song, you know, but put the two together. Africa Rising was an idea I've always had. When I finished high school, I was in a choir, and on the flip side, I was a DJ. One of my cousins tried as a DJ. So I used to travel with them. They were doing parties, they were doing beauty pageants. That's how I got into DJing. And basically, it was just dance music then. So as dance music evolved in our country, to everything that it became, kwaito, everything that was dance, I was always in there. When we started producing, we also wanted to produce that kind of sound we were getting from the records. And me in particular, I was always fond of the more melodic, the more musical stuff. And, even in times when I couldn't find certain records, certain sound, I'd rather go and try and make that kind of music. And I think that's how I came about. From the beginning, I knew that I would never compile an album. I would like to make music that they want to compile internationally. And you can find our music now in compilations internationally and locally as well. Because I always felt we have so much to offer. I mean, we have 11 different languages, and all these languages have different cultures, and all these cultures have different sounds and different styles of singing. I always felt there's a lot more we can offer. What's next? What are we going to offer the world? Is it just going to be something that blows up and for 2 years and then disappears? And fortunately, I see it sustaining.
Ish. Okmalumkoolkat inkinga isilimo uvele bahleke ulimi lashibilika makufika mina ziyamporoma ziyaphithika yo bayafrika dabuka ispeaker phihli phatha phatha phihli phatha ngize ngamasimba ngize ngamasimba because I'm getting big now ngidume njengesingo Okmalumkoolkat aka Future Mfana aka Zulu Computer aka Butyangichaza aka Wi-Fi Shambox aka Bush Knife Gangster aka Smart Mompara aka Butyangwasha aka Mfana aka Future Mfana. Come on, man. We reference the whole culture, like Ukhozi FM influences so much in Dirty Parfait. That's how we ended up making music like this, And then why it sounds the way, like the drops. Remember the 1-1-1-1? That's Kansas City. I grew up in Mlazi, which is like an old township, like as old as Soweto. In '95, my mom got a house in like this new age, new South Africa, RDP township now. In Bonella, which is like Indian people, black people, colored people. We actually created something new in Durban because then the dancer, the context local. If I understand but it's like the, udlala ngetebo. Basically, kukisi rapper, which is you fucking up your shoes. I want to be the guy that has a slow rap track where if you want to break your neck, you break your neck on a slow, But at some point it's a dancer where you're doing a snake on the floor or whatever.
True. Future Mfana shit.
People are tired of traditional sound. Oh, this is hip hop. Or your house there. Usually the producers I work with, they're not looking for a certain sound. We're all thriving for just like creating something new. People will subscribe to these beats with I think it's getting interesting because we're young bucks, but we see the whole thing 360. As Ngedi, we're not trying to have money. We're trying to influence, It's for the good of South Africa, what we're doing.
When you see South Africa just for its traditional music, you look at it as being quite old and retrospective and nostalgic, but to see that people are doing stuff which is equally African but really progressive is interesting for a lot of people.
The consumer, whoever that is, particularly in the UK, goes, I am so bored. I'm going to go on SoundCloud and search for Mozambique and come up with, and they want something different, they want something new.
You can reach an audience around the world, whatever you're doing. As I said at the conference earlier, you can be making Mongolian punk dubstep, and if there's 6 oaks around the world that are into that sound, you can reach them now.
I make a song, then tell Lord, like, I don't know where to go. Then I'll go to SoundCloud and research other labels, what they playing. Then after that, if I can get their contact, I just email or to just listen to this.
The link, you know, between the release of music and portals like YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, you know, I think it has played a big role.
Anybody, any stamatati from anywhere can just upload whatever they want.
You know, I used to make a cassette with a 505 and a mic, and we used to record like a tape and drive around in my car with it and play it to people at parties and not let anybody have it, and, you know, like play it to like 30 people. Now I can put a song on SoundCloud and get like a few thousand plays in a weekend.
As soon as internet is boost mahala, everybody's getting on, and everybody getting to know our SoundCloud, it's gonna get stupid.
At the same time, the noise has increased exponentially as well.
Disposable music, you know, making stuff so somebody can play it on the internet once or twice, and even if they like it, they play it to death and it dies in a month. So it's like, it's a different era.
Anybody can make music.
My first PC, like I was bought by my granny.
His laptop is like his extension, so the laptop and the guy is a Zulu computer if they're together.
This explosion in music that you have in South Africa is the accessibility of software as opposed to the expense of hardware.
Entire scenes and entire genres are based on that kind of sharing of technology and sharing of software.
Music is definitely probably the one area where I mean, it's definitely the one area where you could grow up in a shack but still manage to fly around the world eventually, you know what I mean, without having to have too much. You just need a computer in the beginning, you know?
I used to eat, sleep, and live on the PC.
Changed the way we make music. You know, you used to have to go into studios and expensive, and there were a few of them, and so the studios had the control, and the labels that had the deals with the studios kind of had the control.
You get sensations that are big on the net, you know, but we've never seen them on our TV screens.
It's important for me to go out into the street and give the people music raw and not wait for radio or some ladder to get it to them, but to give it to them very directly.
Jupiter and Quest International Erumanyelo Spoek Mathambo
Likamoni ngana sali pona mona pasi ya boye Likamoni ngana sala pona mona tumbu ya boye Likamoni ngana sali pona mona somo ya boye Yango biso bayanke basala biso kakapato kemba Yango biso bayanke basala biso kakapato sufri Margarita Yendura yomto mesala ko bondela banzele Bondela bonanga sia na baki sabango kale Yaka 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 yaka
Sabaraba biba Sabaraba biba Sabaraba biba Sabaraba biba.
That sound cannot be perfect without dancers.
Just show me then go you hold that dance.
The dancers and the music being together, they make the music make sense. The Shangaan electro name was not Shangaan electro. We call it makwaya. Makwaya music. It's a dance that we call it. But because it's electrifying, it's fast. So they thought like my dancers are dancing with electricity because it's so fast. Yes, the funny part is I didn't know by me going into YouTube and all, doing all those, sending those songs. I didn't know it will go that far. I was just saying, let me try my luck.
I wanna make you mine.
With the music now not selling, I need something different. But within a year or a year and a half, that's when I realized that there was some interest, people coming, a guy called Wills, and he came, and then I said, why are you here? He said, no, I'm looking for your music. And the funny part of it is, I asked myself, how did you know about me? He said, YouTube. So that's when I started to realize. I said to him, "Nah, man, you must be joking." He said, "No, your music can be big in Europe." I said, "No, it can't be." I didn't want to believe it until, and it started in 2010. And in 2011, we started to do our first tour. 2012, we went to our tour. Now we are going for our fourth year tour. Those songs that went to YouTube and become so famous, I did them on my own. Being the engineer, the marketing manager, the producer, the record label owner, at the same time, I did have to go and buy a microbus so that I can transport my own artist. Doing the manufacturing, running up and down, doing marketing. When MLFM got shows, I have to drive from Joburg to where my MLFM in Limpopo will be without being paid, just to expose my artists. To rope the kids into our fans was to wear the mask, put some things in the belly, at the bottoms and all this, and then it works. It works because right from there, my boys were known all over. All over, across the borders, everybody knew them. Who is Thetsa Boys? We are marginalized and abused in our culture in such a way that you sing that music and everybody says, "What is that now?" Can't you tell that person to switch off that music? You don't see us on TV. When you see us on TV, it will be on Sunday for only 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You will never see a Shangaan music or a musician on TV. We rely on one person. That is our mother and our father, which is Munganalon and the radio MLFM. Without MLFM, there's no us. That's how painful it is. So for me to be known and to be seen all over, representing that same marginalized and abused nation, I feel proud about it. Because now I can say, you can marginalize and abuse me, but you cannot take what I've got, which is my talent and our culture, because I will keep on taking forward. And then at the same time, beating the same superior nation and cultures. When you go to overseas, the first question that I got, we didn't know that there's people who can dance like this in South Africa. I said, because we are marginalized and abused. I think that mindset, if it can change and be given full exposure on TV, on the media, all over, that will be good. Because I can tell you now, the only time I would become on the newspaper is when I got an award. The only time I get a newspaper, it's when there was none. But Mail and Guardian did a very good job on me. That was the only first and the last newspaper that did profiles twice, if not thrice, about me. But they don't do it on the other side. But being that it may, I will never stop to take Shangaan music to the top. One day they will accept it that yes, Shangaan can dance. Because I can tell you now, there's no nation that can dance like Shangaan. None. But they can put us here, and we'll see who's gonna get tired.
Right now, Lemo Ivory Park, Extension 2 is based more Johannesburg Midrand. And my name is Ero Manyelo.
I'd say he's advanced to us. You know, he's more advanced to anything. You know, I don't know if I should mention it, but the time he was in Black Hole, he was also making the type of electro sound, but he tend to make them deep and slow tempo. You know, but people still loved them by that time.
Just South African techno that's very unique to his style.
The style that I prefer, like that I love with all my heart, is that hardcore stuff. I think house music here in South Africa became a culture. So when I'm making like a deep house song or just a soft song, like I'm just following the culture. You have to have like that certain sound, like, you know, like someone, even when he's trying to do like most producers, like most South Africa, I think they're looking at the South African market, rather than they don't think, well, okay, you can make a song here for that 2 years after. Go Venezuela is something new. You can take your music further. Doesn't mean if it's a project, South Africa, then next day, like I just have to chill, okay, let me work on another project. No, take that project and drag it all over until you want to go adverting Colgate or something.